Welcome to Joe's Atmosphere.
Cook your shrimp, please. All of a sudden, my shrimp pan is burning up like a smoke fest.
Yeah, bingo! I said, let's fucking go! Let's fucking go.
So, what do you guys want to talk about?
That's right. What do you want to talk about? Welcome to the club, boys and girls. It is Sunday evening. Usually it's myself and Highlander, but he has been fighting a cold, I came to find out. Didn't quite sound like himself during our football stream earlier today. But, yeah, when I told him Okay, check this out. There's still a little bit of a learning curve when it comes to this new streaming software I'm using. It's called Talk Studios by Streamlab. Now, Streamlab has never been my favorite thing in the world, but it's a cheap alternative because StreamYard decided they were really proud of their product and decided to jack it up almost 100% this year. So I wasn't going to pay for that, so I went ahead and switched to Streamlab's Talk Studio. I apparently, when I set up our football stream this morning, I forgot to I forgot to click all the buttons for the different stream places I wanted it to go. So that's the one thing I do love about it. I can put it wherever I want to. I don't have to sit here and do these replays all the time. But I had to do a replay this morning. We talked football for 3 hours. If you're a football fan, go check out. I think I still have this thumbnail in here for it. Let's see. Yeah, this one here. The preseason wrap up and season predictions. I had to split it into two parts to show it this afternoon. Go check it out on the replay if you want to know. Spoiler alert, I picked the San Francisco 49ers to beat the Buffalo Bills in the Super Bowl this year. So we'll see if I'm right in about 6 weeks. Or no, excuse me, 6 months. So, hey, we always make our predictions at the beginning of the year. Me, John, Knock, Highlander was there this morning, and like I said, he's been fighting a cold. So that's why we're back at the club tonight, guys. You know how it goes. We're going to get our favorite cocktail and get it going. I'm about to be done with this soldier, this bottle of Jack Daniels. I don't know. I might get rid of it tonight. It's Labor Day weekend. Might as well get out to the club and have a good time, right? I, however, am not going to be using the New Orleans tie-dye shot glass or the It's Ma'am shot glass, as Martin Acosta Santana likes to call it. I'm going to use my military police cross pistol shot glass. I know it's hard to see, but if you look closely and I lean it the right way into the light, you can see the crossed muskets, crossed flintlocks there that are the military police corps symbol. So that's what I'm drinking out of tonight. It's Labor Day, and I'm not drinking out of the It's Ma'am shot glass. So you guys grab your cocktail of choice. Yeah, this is almost a dead soldier. Grab your cocktail of choice and join me in celebrating Labor Day weekend. Hope you guys are enjoying your extended weekend. All right, we are at the club. Let's see who's in the club with us tonight. Let's take a look at the chat. First one in tonight is Snortapoopus. What's going on, man? He says, hey-oh, humans and other critters. It's good to see you, man. He's telling me hey-oh. And, of course, Awesome One comes in, like he always does, with the one-word conversation. He says, dude. And we all know you can have an entire conversation, depending on how you use your emotions and inflection, with the word dude, right? Dude. Yeah, I mean, you can do anything with it. It's good to see him. Awesome One. The boomer curve. Absolutely, dude. Yeah, I cannot deny it any longer. Okay. But I do have to take issue with the word boomer. I am not a boomer. I made the cutoff. Boomers are from 1964 to what? Shoot. I don't know where it is, but I was born in 65. I made Generation X, okay? Sorry. I made Generation X. That's just all there is to it. Snortapoopus says, tell him to get better soon wherever he is hiding. Yeah, he's hiding at home with his lovely wife, Kim. And I'm sure he's getting some rest as he needs to. Awesome One says, Boomer Joe better hire a 7-year-old to produce the show. Come on, bro. I do a pretty good job. Take it easy on me, guys. Let's see. Awesome One says, I predict the Buffalo Bills to beat the Patriots. Boy, that's a really... Wow. You're going on a limb there, bro. You're going on a huge limb there. We all know that the Patriots suck these days. Come on, bro. But they will be getting better. Mike Vrabel's standing on the sideline now, so we know what he did with Tennessee, so they're going to be getting better. And speaking of a New Englander, there's one right there, my Aunt Kay. What's going on? She says, I need to get you some good whiskey. No. This, my dear, is mother's milk to me. This is what I drank when I was a bartender, okay? So, yeah. I'm sure there's better stuff out there, Kay. I'm not denying that. Not denying that at all. Just saying, I like what I like, and that's what I like right there. She says, nice shot glass. Yep, I see it. Yeah, talking about the cross pistols. Mine is margarita. Oh, my gosh. Kay, if you've never had one, I want you to go have a top shelf margarita or a grand gold margarita, as we call them in the biz. Okay? It's Cuervo Gold. Instead of triple sec, you use Grand Marnier. Okay. Top of the line triple sec. made from oranges, by the way, if you guys don't know what that is. And whatever margarita mix you're using, salt the glass, whatever, shake it, and look, it's the most I don't even like margaritas, but man, a Grand Gold margarita with that Grand Marnier, it's awesome. I'm drinking water, Awesome One says. You always drink water, bro. Nothing wrong with that. Dave Bob doesn't like his cocktail being grabbed. Okay. That's good to know about Dave Bob, whoever he is. Gen X rocks. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Appreciate you. Let's see. Awesome One says, so you don't have 16 kids? No, I don't. No, I don't. Oh, I've only got 3 that call me dad. I've only participated in creating 1, but I have 3 that call me dad. Boomers 1946 to 1964. Yep. Like I said, I made the cutoff. I'm 1965. Kay Rivenwolf is here. She says, hey, Joe. Hey, it's good to see you, young lady. I hope you and Jed are doing fine this Labor Day weekend. Let's see. Someone stole my name, laugh out loud. What are you talking about? How can they steal? No, she didn't steal you. That's my Aunt Kay. That's my Aunt Kay. Yeah. She said, okay, Kay. Got a lot of K's in the chat tonight. Snorter Pooper says, I like key lime margaritas. You know, I've never had one. Like I said, I'm not a margarita fan, but I had one of those Grand Gold margaritas once, and oh my God, they're freaking delicious. You know what? Before I forget about it, my brother, Highlander, who is not here tonight, we've got to get the background music going. That's just all there is to it. We've got to get the background music going. We got to get his music on the air. He just dropped his newest album, Sojourn. You can find it anywhere you get your music, boys and girls, so make sure you go check it out. I will throw it up on the screen here in a minute and give you a link for the YouTube list here in a second. But yeah, let's go ahead and get that going in the background, shall we? Yeah, there we go. Little sharking for pearls there in the background. Let me go ahead and throw this up real quick. By the way, I want to say hi to everybody. Let me check these things and make sure. Yeah, we're going out live on Rumble. Believe we're on Twitch. I think. Let's take a look. Yeah, I'm on Twitch tonight. Hopefully Kick got connected. Let's see if they're connected. Yes, they are. And I believe we're on Facebook. Yeah, I know we are because I saw my Aunt Kay. She was saying hi from there. So, oh my God, look at this stuff. This AI art is getting beyond. Okay, boys and girls, look at this. I go over here to try and check out Facebook, and what do I see? From one of the AI art things, it's Wilma and Betty. Wow, what the hell? Yikes, it's crazy. Stuff is crazy. But yeah, I was just checking to make sure we're live over there, and we are. So there we go. Okay. I should have known because Kay watches me over there. Anyway, boys and girls, welcome aboard. Let me go ahead and throw up my brother's channel real fast so you guys can see it. It's Sharkin' for Pearls. And I will grab the... look at that, will you? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 albums, and he's only had this page for a little over a year. He is pumping out the music, boys and girls. I love his new album cover, though. I love it. I think it's awesome looking. It's really cool. It's that one right there, the classic symbol that he usually uses. That one right there. He put a little AI twist to it this time around. You know, looks really cool. I got to talk to him about that pearl necklace on the shark, though. See, because it's just not. It came out as bumps on the shark. It looks like. But anyway, you guys go check out Sharkin' for Pearls. It's not just on YouTube. It's anywhere where you get your music. Okay, and we're listening to a couple of tunes here in the background. Hotfoot, I think, is one of them, and Shifty Breeze. That has an F in it, folks. Shifty Breeze. Anyway, let me go ahead and give you the the channel link for Sharking for Pearls real quick. And yeah, you guys go check it out. Help a brother out, specifically my own. Okay, let's see. And remember, it's Sharkin, not Sharking. There's no G in that. 4 pearls. Yeah, we always got to push Danny's stuff on here, man. Let's see. Control V. And boom. There we go. You guys go check it out. Let's see. Who is it? Who else is in here? Oh, she says I was joking. Yeah, I know you are. There can be only one. The Highlander. That's right. Awesome one. You know he's most awesome. Wolverine of the Quarter Jew says, what up? It's good to see you, man. Good to see you. I always love seeing you. They're saying hi to each other. Awesome one says, get chicky with it. You know I am. And there you go. I, of course, have the virus of unknown origin to wash down my hourly shot of Jack, so we should be in good shape. Now, I want to let you know about what happened since Friday, since I saw you last. Of course, you know we had the big football thing, and we watched football this weekend and all that stuff. And you know me, I'm going to be watching football every Sunday, man. Not so much on Saturdays, but I did watch it yesterday, and it was a lot of fun. It really was. I tend to like the pro game, but because there's a lot less blowouts. But I watched some good games yesterday. They had some good games on. The LSU Tigers won last night. They beat the Clemson wannabe Tigers. The real Tigers of LSU won. But I did want to show you this. It's a picture that I took last night of my lovely wife. I took her out for her birthday dinner. Her birthday was on Friday. But I couldn't take her out until Saturday because I work on Fridays. So she is a foodie from the word go, guys. She loves good food and all that good stuff. This picture was taken at a place called Sonora Prime. Now, what this place is a Brazilian steakhouse. Has anybody in the chat ever been to this kind of establishment? By the way, she's gorgeous as usual. She's always gorgeous. That's just always to it. Anyway, let's see. Awesome one says Barney is a guitar after Betty left him with for Wilma. Yeah. Barney is in the gutter. Okay, I'm sorry. Barney is in the gutter after Betty left her for Wilma. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? The stuff they come up with. Hoopy birthday to her. You know it, Snortapookus. You know it. She's 29 again. I'm not going to say how many times she's been 29, but she's 29 again. Anyway, if you've never been to a Brazilian steakhouse, I got in trouble last night. I woke up and had to take antacids. All right. It's $50 a plate at this place. Okay. Why is it $50 a plate? Because what happens is they have a buffet style setup for the side dishes. You know, like your potatoes, your rice, whatever your starch is going to be, gravies, whatever. They have another buffet style thing for your salads, for your vegetables, and all that good stuff. Your fruits. I mean, everything. It's got everything, right? You get up, you go take your plate over there, you put your sides, and you get your salad together and all that stuff. And then your proteins. These guys were walking around with a plate and a sword, basically. It's like a small, short sword. And the sword is thin, and it's like a kebab of whatever meat that they're bringing around for you. You've got this card on your table. It's either red for stop or go for come here, right? And these guys see that, and they just walk around with whatever cut of meat they've got. My favorites I had last night were the chimichurri sirloin. Chimichurri apparently some kind of herb sauce, and it's freaking delicious. And if they cook it in that stuff, it made this stuff moist as all get up. Okay. But I had filet mignon. They brought around sausages. I don't eat sausage. A lot of stuff with Parmesan. They had Parmesan chicken. They had some Parmesan steaks. I don't do cheeses, so I didn't do that. But that chimichurri friggin' sirloin and the ribeye. Oh my God, the ribeye was something else. It was awesome. Chim cherry, you know it, awesome one. It was so good, man. And I ate so much. Really needed to have them wheel me out of there in a wheelbarrow. We can't do that very often, man. I'm telling you. Because, look, it's all you can eat. They just keep walking around with it. I'm telling you, we were there for an hour and a half, and they were coming. And what's funny is, it's a steakhouse, right? So I'm thinking steak. There's not going to be any seafood, you know? So the waitress, her name is Angela. And by the way, if you're in the Shreveport Bossier area and you decide to go to Sonora Prime, ask for Angela. She was very helpful. We had never done this before, and she was extremely helpful with the whole thing. You got a pair of tongs, right? Because they cut the meat for you. And you got to, when they start cutting it, it'll fold over, and you grab it, and they finish cutting it so you can put it on your plate. Look, it's a steak eater's dream, okay? It was just so good. I mean, really, just awesome. And I got to tell you, we're going to go back, but it's not going to be anytime soon. I got to tell you, because I can't take that very often, man. That's rough. Let's see, gonna barbecue steaks tomorrow. Yeah, my wife is gonna do her world famous coffee marinade steaks tomorrow on the grill, and my mother doesn't eat steaks anymore. She doesn't eat. She doesn't eat cow anymore. She'll eat some chicken, but I think my wife got her shrimp. Yeah, she got her shrimp tomorrow. Shrimp on the barbie. You know what I'm saying? Shrimp on the barbie. That's what she's getting tomorrow. Riverwolf says, yum. And, of course, Snorter Pooper says, nom, 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 nom. Yeah, it's good stuff, man. Good stuff. You guys, I see that Awesome One is barbecuing steaks tomorrow. Yeah, that's what Labor Day's all about, man. You know, that's what these 4-day weekends are all about when we're celebrating different stuff. It's uniquely American, right? Okay, what do we want to get into tonight, guys? Last time I counted down my favorite movies. And you know what's changed? It's changed since, well, no, I think that might have been dramas that I was talking about the last time. Because I found this list in the back of my football notebook, and I had been counting down something else. And my top three hadn't changed, you know. So it's Fellowship of the Ring, Return of the Jedi, and Hunt for Red October. But this must have been a dramas list, because number 4 was The Towering Inferno. That's a movie that, oh my God, man. Let me tell you, if you've never seen that flick, oh my gosh. Matter of fact, one of the first streams I did 4 years ago, That 70s Rock Fan had me on to do The Towering Inferno. And that is my favorite disaster movie of all time. And really, you know, it would be in the top 5 if it wasn't for Halloween, you know. Let's see. Towering Inferno. There's a couple of things about that movie that are unique to that film. It made history because if you watch the opening credits to it, both Steve McQueen and Paul Newman were equally credited. One of their names was higher than the other one, but they were both shown on the screen at the same time. You know, and the competition making this was, I mean, McQueen's agent insisted that he have the same amount of dialogue as Paul Newman. They had to have the same amount of lines in it and everything. And this movie just screams Hollywood to me, man. It's got some of the most creative people in Hollywood working on it. Of course, it's an Irwin Allen classic disaster movie. You know, he had done the Poseidon Adventure before this, and I like this one better. Like I said, it's my favorite disaster movie of all time. It's awesome, and you know, it's like all of them. You know, you've got a cast at the time that most of them were borderline retired, right? But I'll tell you what, man. John Guillermo directed it. That's who gets the director's nod. But look, Irwin Allen. Let there be no doubt. Irwin Allen directed the action scenes in it. Okay, Paul Newman and Steve McQueen. Those guys, they were rivals in Hollywood for a long time, and they ended up working on this movie together. You know, it's very unique. William Holden, who was had his heyday already in Hollywood. Although he went on to be nominated for an Academy Award for Network a couple of years later. He was advancing in age, though. Another, you know, person that was in Network is Faye Dunaway, and she was in it too. She played Paul Newman's love interest in it, and you know, Fred Astaire. Of course, they've always got one guy from really old Hollywood in there. It was Fred Astaire in this one. Susan Blakely, Richard Chamberlain, who I love, man. You know, that guy was in so much great stuff. He was, I guess you could call him the father of the miniseries, because he was in so many of those first initial miniseries they put on TV. Of course, you had Roots, and you had Rich Man, Poor Man, which he wasn't in, but Shogun. What was the other one he was in? Oh, yeah, The Thornbirds. I mean, he was Mr. Miniseries back in the late 70s. He's actually the whole reason why The Fire started. You know, he was cutting corners and everything. But Jennifer Jones is in it. O.J. Simpson, who actually isn't bad acting-wise in this movie. He's actually pretty good. Robert Vaughn is in it. I think he plays a senator. Robert Wagner's in it. He plays a guy. Imagine this. He's messing around on his wife with the secretary played by Susan Flannery. I mean, you can't make this stuff up, right? But anyway, it's a great movie. If you've never seen this flick, it's a bunch of guys that worked with Irwin Allen for a long time, and they made this fantastic movie in 1974. I loved it. I saw it a couple of times in the theater, man. I was just thinking about this today. Yeah, OJ, the Juice. OJ, the Juice. That was him, man. Let's see. Kay says, as long as it's not the radioactive shrimp from Walmart. Yeah, I hear you. Talking about the shrimp she got. Yeah, I don't think she got it from Walmart. Don't eat the seafood that says it's from China. It's most likely spoiled before it reaches you. Yeah, let's hope not. All I know is look, last night I'm sitting there waiting. You know, I'm actually, I'd already turned the card over and turned it red, right? And I was done. I'd had plenty. You know, I ate way more than I should have last night. And felt like that guy in oh God, what's the name of the Monty Python movie where they got some different skits in it? It's not something completely different. It's another one. The one with the thin mint. The guy's going to give him the thin mint and he explodes. It's just a wafer thin mint. Puts it on his tongue and it blows up. That's how I felt. And then my wife saw, oh, look, they've got shrimp. And I was like, where the fuck was that all night? Bring me one of those. I got to try it. And it was delicious, man. It was absolutely delicious. Couldn't believe it, man. Couldn't believe it. The Meaning of Life. There it is. Thank you. I knew it wasn't The Life of Brian. That's what always pops in my head when I'm talking about Monty Python movies, and not, you know, the Holy Grail, which it's my favorite one. I love Monty Python and the Holy Grail. It's a great one. But yeah, The Meaning of Life. That's the movie right there. Let's see. Snorter Pooper says, Mr. Creosote? Was that his name? Was that his name? I don't remember. I do not remember. Read by nature. That's you saying the meaning of life. Hey, man, it's good to see you. Read by nature. Good to see you. Let's see. He says, just one more. Just one more. It's wafer thin. Yes. It's a mint. It's wafer thin. Oh, man. Too damn funny. Good to see you, Reed. Good to see you. Okay, so yeah, I was looking at this list, and I guess I'll just let you know what I got in this notebook. I mentioned a couple of. I guess this must have been my favorite dramas. Okay, because you remember I counted down my favorites of all time, and 3 of the 5 are on this list I've got in the back of here. A Hunt for October, Return of the Jedi, and Fellowship of the Ring. Right. I think I had. Let me go see real quick. I'm trying to remember what I put in there last time around. I know it was Halloween, and then there was one more that I put in there, and I don't remember what it was right now. That's probably. Let's go see. Take me 2 seconds to find out, wouldn't it? It was Chillin' at the Club number 9. And it's right here. Why the hell? Oh, okay. The music stopped because I didn't put it on repeat. Sorry, guys. There we go. I'm going to put it on shuffle, too. Anyway, okay. I was wondering where the music went. It's like, wait a minute. It's supposed to be on. Okay. Last time we went through this. Lord of the Rings. Okay. Lord of the Rings. Return of the Jedi. Oh, yeah, Captain America Winter Soldier. Yeah, it's a superhero movie. Okay, so this must have been... Yeah, because I pretty much stick to my lists, man. I stick to my lists. So my top 5 has a superhero movie and a horror movie. The rest of them are dramas, right? This must have been my favorite dramas because I've got The Towering Inferno on that list. And I have The Natural on this list. Now, if you've never seen The Natural, it's an old-time Hollywood movies, man, and it's more of a, it's almost a mythical sports story. It's really, really cool if you've never seen it. Let's see, who is this? Snorter Poopa says he's the one that exploded. Yeah, Mr. Creosote. Yeah, that's awesome. American Joe, go Joe. Yeah, I hear you. Winter Soldier. That's the one I was thinking of. Okay. So, The Natural. If you've never seen The Natural, it stars Robert Redford as The Natural. The guy that they call The Natural. This movie came out in 1984. And I think the last time I did anything that referenced it was on the 4th of July. They said, show us some fireworks, right? And I put up that scene right there where he hits the home run and blows up the lights at the park. Just amazing movie, man. This movie right here. It's about a guy named Roy Hobbs who was what anybody that saw him play said he was the greatest of all time, right? At some kind of fair, they had this character that was kind of like Babe Ruth, you know. I think they called him the Swatter or something like that. I can't remember. But this guy was the king of the home runs, and Robert Redford struck him out just at a fair. It wasn't even a game. It was kind of a challenge, you know. This guy said, I can hit you, and he's like, yeah, sure, you know, and he struck him out. But some things happen, and he doesn't have the career he thinks he's going to have in baseball. Yeah, I don't want to give it away. If you've never seen this movie, go watch The Natural. It has kind of a Field of Dreams thing to it, but it's not wholly out of none of it's wholly unbelievable, if you understand what I'm saying. You know, it's not mythical like it has that kind of feel, but you know, we're not seeing ghosts or anything like that. But it has this feeling that this guy could have been the greatest of all time, but he just has some things that happen to him that it just doesn't happen for him. But he has his run at history eventually. It's a pretty amazing movie. It really is. You should check it out sometime. The other list I had here that I can't remember. This must have been for another show I was doing or something. It's my favorite horror movies of all time. And if you guys want to talk about something, just tell me in the chat what you want to talk about. I'll look up whatever you want. And we'll look at the horror movies here in a minute, but I think I've got a good 5 here. Yeah, I've got a good 5 that I dig. And you know what's fucked up? 3 of them are John Carpenter movies. They're my favorite horror movies. 3 of them are John Carpenter. Look, I think I've told you before, I've got a buddy, Mark, and he and I get together once every few years, and we just have a John Carpenter night, because he and I both love horror movies, and we both love John Carpenter. We'll sit there and watch, just have a John Carpenter marathon and get smashed, you know. But it's always when the wife's out of town and nobody's home, you know. That's when it becomes bachelor time, and I have my buddy over, and we just sit there and watch old John Carpenter movies, man. But we'll talk about that in a minute. But I did want to do something here. I want to give some recognition to some guys that send me stuff on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. They send me stuff all the damn time, and I never get to show it on stream. And half the time, people send it to me whenever I, you know, I'll be in the middle of a show, and you guys, especially on Sunday when I'm doing it with Daniel, we got so many articles up that I can't, there's no way I could stop and check Twitter and do all that stuff. So let's give some of these guys credit where credit is due. First of all, we've got, where are they? Here we go. Papa Joe Gamer, Memes and More. This is stuff from Jed and Parrot Head. Good old Parrot Head, man. He sends all kinds of stuff to me, and some of it is just really damn funny, man. Let's see. Now, of course, the last one I sent him, I love. This is just hilarity. It's just all there is to it. Yeah, me and the boys going to see the next Sydney Sweeney movie. You remember when the American Eagle thing came out? They were calling her Yahtzee and everything. I just thought this one was hilarious, man. Let's see. But I shared that with them. Here's a car that Parrot Head showed me. Man, check this thing out. Check this sucker out. Tell me that's not badass looking. Wish I could blow this up bigger. But that's as big as I can get it. Yeah. But that is a cool hot rod right there. Got the freedom flag on the side of it and everything. That one's cool. I like that one. Let's see. What is this one, buddy boy? Oh, yeah. Plenty of this stuff. We're red-blooded American males, boys and girls. This is great stuff right here. Hang on. You'll love this meme. Check it out. Parrothead sent me this one. Save the bees. Plant the trees. Clean the seas. Titties. Skeletor's always ready to go, isn't he? That one's awesome. Let's see. Read by Nature says, I have a car like that in GTA, but with Joker colors. Ooh. It's purple with lime green piping. Is that what you're telling me, bro? Is that what you got there? That sounds pretty damn cool, man. Let's see. What else we got here? What else they got for me here? Yeah. That one was pretty damn funny. Of course, he sent me this one too. It's an American Eagle ad, right? American Eagle Sydney Sweeney's friends have great genes. This is just too much, man. Some of the stuff they find, dude, it's crazy. Let's see what else we got here. Trying to see. Which one is this? Yeah, this is it. But my gosh, he's been sending me pictures of Sydney Sweeney for a while. And of course, you know, he finds all kinds of videos and all kinds of stuff. It's ridiculous. Then you got stuff like this. The ghost with the most. Look out. There's a ghost you're going to want to meet, right? Parrothead is crazy, dude. He finds some crazy shit. He really does. Let me see. This thing keeps going back a mile. Like to the beginning of the damn thread that we put together. Let's see. What's this one? Yep. Okay. That's the latest stuff he sent me. So there you go. You've seen most of it. And of course, you know, the Sydney Sweeney stuff, it never ends. Of course, I forgot he sent me this one too. The Sydney Sweeney with the phone thing, showing off the lack of tan lines, right? Maniac. My boy, I swear. He's always trying to keep me in content for Wednesdays, you know. But there is somebody else I wanted to recognize here. Let's see. That's the one where Parrothead sends me stuff. But there's somebody else sends me stuff on here too. I just can't remember. Let's see. Oh yeah, Parrothead sends me stuff individually. That's right. Yeah, he likes his hot cars, man. Definitely. My gosh, look at this. This is crazy right here. He sent a bunch of pictures from a... let's see. Yeah. Look at these pictures here. This is from... He must have been at a hot rod show. Is that not badass looking? Look at that thing. Look at this sucker. That's a ZZ Top car right there. That's what it reminds me of. That looks like the ZZ Top car. But I think ZZ Top's car was red, I believe. Das Wolfen, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Good to see you. Read by Nature is waving at you. That's right. Sydney Sweeney has great genes. We know that, Snorri Lewis. No doubt. Das Wolfen says that's a 32 Ford. All I know is it looks like the ZZ Top car, man. It's pretty badass. This one here, I'm not sure what this one is, but it's gorgeous. These things at these car shows are something else, man. They're pretty cool. I like it. Muscle cars. True muscle cars. I'm not sure what kind of car this is, though, but it's convertible. See what this says. 51 Mercury Coupe. Burgundy. That's what it is. It's a Mercury Coupe. 51. 1951. Yikes. I want to see one of those cars. What's the name of that flick? It's not the Edsel, but it's that one car that... It was the first car with safety belts and airbags and all that other stuff way before we were supposed to have them. And the big car company shut him down. Tucker made that car, I think. The movie's called Tucker. I know that. If you've never heard of that, I'd love to see one of those cars. I wonder, you know, because they didn't make many. You know? But yeah, these are all sent to me by Parrothead. I wanted to give him a shout out. Zoinks! You know what this is. You see Scoob, right? Tucker Torpedo. Is that right, Das Wolfen? Yeah, man. I'd love to see one of those cars. For real. I love that movie about him. Yes, it's the Mystery Machine, boys and girls. Check that out. Is that clean or what? Jinkies! Wolfie says. Jinkies! Yes. What a deal. Dude, I'd love to have that van. That'd be awesome. I really would. Let's see what we got. I'm always looking over there on Rumble to see if Low Spec's over there. And he's not, so I won't get in trouble with him. But yeah, what is this, man? Is this another old Ford? Is that what I'm looking at there? I don't know what that one is, but it looks pretty clean itself. But yeah, all this stuff was sent to me by Parrot Head. And I don't know what this is supposed to be. Must be a cocktail he was drinking at this show. I don't know. But thank you very much, Parrot Head, for always sending me stuff. It's pretty damn cool, the stuff he sends me. Player one rule. No. Oh my God, check this one out, guys. Player one. Or no, player. I rolled 25 to seduce the Goliath barmaid. Dungeon Master. All right. Roll initiative. Player. Worth it. That's for all you Dungeons & Dragons guys out there. There you go. Thanks a lot again there, Parrot Head. You send me some cool stuff. All right, let's take a look. What else you want to look at, guys? Let me know in the chat. Till then, I'll go through this list that I found. John, since you're showing up late, when I was, I wrote down our predictions earlier today, and I found some lists I was working on. Last time around, I told them my top 5 favorite movies of all time, right? Well, I found these lists, and the list of dramas was the first one. And actually, the first 3 are on my top movies of all time. It's Fellowship of the Ring, Return of the Jedi, and Hunt for October. But where my all-time movies was Winter Soldier and Halloween, rounding out the top 5, right? This one had The Towering Inferno and The Natural. So that must be what this is dramas. Because I've never considered The Natural one of my favorite movies of all time. But it is one of my favorite dramas. Let's see. Das Wolfen says, that third headlight that moves when you turn the wheel was a great idea. Also, the torpedo, the 1948 Tucker, went for almost $3 million. Whoa. Wow. Comic Really Crusader is here. What's going on, man? Good to see you. Let's see. Read by Nature says, when you derail your friend's D&D campaign trying to bang the orc chick, death by snoo snoo. That's it, man. That's, I got a buddy that loved to derail D&D games, man. He'd come up with some crazy shit. He really would. That's an expensive torpedo, right? Not like the Chinese torpedo that I put in my comic book, right? Okay, so let's take a look at this. My number 5, when talking about the top horror movies of all time. And like I said, there are 3, count them, 3 John Carpenter movies here. 3 of them. Oh, gosh. Excuse me. I've been up a long time today, guys. But I'm going to give you a good 2 hours. I promise you. I'm just now having a cocktail for the first time today. Let's see. It's actually a remake by John Carpenter. It's probably the most famous remake he ever made. I don't know if you can call this a remake, though. I don't want to call it a reimagining. But it was a remake of The Thing from Another Planet, which was made by Howard Hawks back in the 50s. And it was one of his favorite movies. He actually put that movie in Halloween. They're watching it on the TV set, right? But he did The Thing. But he went back to, instead of basing it on the Howard Hawks classic, he went back to the source material. Now, the source material is called, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, Who Goes There is the name of the short story that it's based on. I'm not sure where you find it or anything like that. Check your Wikipedia, whatever. But I'm pretty sure it's called Who Goes There, and the alien is a mimic, is what it is. And Das Wolfen is confirming what I'm talking about. Yeah. Anyway, the thing is not a plant monster like in the Howard Hawks classic. And by the way, a little bit of trivia. The monster in the Howard Hawks movie, The Thing from Another World, was played by none other than James Arness. That's right, Matt Dillon. Sheriff or U.S. Marshal Matt Dillon from Gunsmoke was the monster. He was the Thing from Another Planet. He got his start in Hollywood playing monsters in movies because he was so big. You saw him on Gunsmoke. He towers over everybody. He's a big dude. But, yeah, Das Wolfen said, yup. Let's see. And he's also explaining to Wolvie, there are only a handful left in the world, so that is why it went for so much at auction. Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Read by Nature says, I've never read the book or saw the original movie, but I love John Carpenter's version. Yeah, a lot of people do, man. I love it too. Look, they did things with physical makeup effects and physical effects that are just amazing. If you're not that squeamish, you can enjoy it in this movie. They really did some amazing stuff, and none of it's CGI'd. You know, it's just amazing, and the cast is fantastic. It's got, of course, Kurt Russell is McCready. The hat, something else. There's a lot of lore behind the hat too. I think he picked that hat or something. It's a sombrero or some shit, and he flipped up the front of it. But anyway, Wilford Brimley, one of the best character actors ever. I tell you, a movie that I loved, with the first movie I ever saw with Wilford Brimley in it was a movie called The China Syndrome. He was Jack Lemmon's buddy at the plant that he worked at, the nuclear power plant that he worked at. And it's also one of the first Michael Douglas movies I ever saw. I was a fan of Michael. If you guys don't follow the channel, you don't know this. I am the biggest Michael Douglas fan on the planet. I dig that guy. No homo stuff, but I dig that guy. I think he's awesome. But The China Syndrome is a fantastic movie. I think that's the movie that actually gave me the tinfoil hat as a kid. You know, it made me think maybe we're not seeing the whole story when we watch the news. You know, it's one of those things. If you've never seen The China Syndrome, we'll talk about that after I'm done with this list. But what a great movie that is. And Jack Lemmon from the Odd Couple fame is in it. And he plays a guy that takes over the nuclear power plant that he's a shift operator at. You know, he takes it over because he thinks it's unsafe, and that's all I'll say about it. If you've never seen it, you need to see that movie. It's really fantastic. It really is. Let's see. Read by Nature says it's amazing what you can do by blowing air through tubes. Yes. The special effects in that are just beyond anything at the time. It really is. Top 5 horror movies for Das Wolfen: Alien, Jaws, Nightbreed, Frankenstein 1931, and Event Horizon. These are all good. The only one I have not seen is Event Horizon. That's one of the ones that slipped through my fingers. I know I have to watch it. I know. Don't berate me too bad, but I do need to see that one. Those are good choices. This is just my personal top 5. You know, as I always say, this one's always, yeah, diabetes. Yeah, Wilford Brimley, but he's awesome in that movie. He sticks up for his friend. He does. Let's see. Storm the Puppet says you must have loved The Streets of San Francisco. I did. I dug that show when I was a kid, man. Him and Carl Malden, dude. Yeah, for sure. Wasn't The China Syndrome a made-for-TV movie? No, it was not. It was at the theaters, and it was one of those perfect storm kind of movies. It wasn't doing well at the box office when it came out, and like within a few weeks when it came out, 3 Mile Island happened, and everybody went to see that movie just to get information about what might have gone wrong at 3 Mile Island. Okay? I think that's the way that went. Wasn't it, John? Wasn't it within weeks of that movie came out? Because I remember it wasn't doing well at the theater. But then all of a sudden, 3 Mile Island happened, and everybody went to see that movie. Just to see what was going on with it. I'm pretty sure the movie came out first, and then 3 Mile Island happened. I'm pretty sure. Let's see. Comic Relief's Crusader said, I'm not a horror guy, but if I had to add something, Hellraiser. Yeah. Hellraiser's by Clive Barker. And so is Nightbreed, by the way, off of Das Wolfen's list. Very good writer and director of horror movies. Different kind of taste. It's not for the squeamish, first of all. Got to tell you. My favorite one he ever did was Lord of Illusions. I love Lord of Illusions. I think that movie's awesome with Scott Bakula. That movie's fantastic. I love it. The first time I was exposed to Clive Barker was a book called The Damnation Game. And I think I've told this story before, but I'll tell you again. It's simple setup. It opens with a guy that's an American soldier in World War II. He's without his troops and stuff. He's on his own. And he's walking through a shelled-out village in Germany, and he ends up playing cards with this guy. And, you know, they're talking about what they're going to wager on and all this stuff, and then you don't really see what happens in the card game. It just pans out and then goes to the future, and kind of like Scott Bakula's character in Lord of Illusions, it's got this private detective that gets hired by this millionaire to protect him, and weird shit starts happening, and you come to find out it's the guy that was in the card game in the opening, and he was playing against the devil for his soul, and the devil's come to collect, basically, is what it is. And on the back of that book, it had a quote, and it said, "I have seen the future of horror, and its name is Clive Barker." And the quote was by Stephen King. And this was back in the 80s, wasn't it, guys? I think it was in the 80s I read that book. He's been around for a long time. Clive Barker's really, really good. Let's see. Read by Nature says, Event Horizon is one of the few good films by a director who more consistently makes bad films. His other good films are Mortal Kombat and Soldier. I see. Okay. Very cool. I like Soldier, and I love Mortal Kombat. I do. Not much, Keely Chow. We're just shooting the shit because my brother couldn't make it tonight, so we're back at the club. You know, having a little cocktail, talking some stuff. China Syndrome came out 12 days before 3 Mile Island. There you go. I knew he'd look it up. I knew it. But yeah, it was almost simultaneous. I remember it was not doing well at the box office, and then all of a sudden, bam, that happened, and everybody went to see that movie. Yeah. The China Syndrome was one of those movies that came out at the right time to make a lot of money. Yeah. Read by Nature says, Keely! He's hollering at you. But anyway, The Thing is number 5 on my top horror movies. Number 4. Let's take a look. Number 4. This is a non-Carpenter, not John Carpenter, non-Carpenter movie. Let's see. Yeah, 1973's The Exorcist. Guys, I saw this movie the first time. I know this is going to sound all wrong. I was 8 years old when I saw this movie the first time. And actually, no, I was a little bit older than that. I was probably 9. Okay, I saw it on HBO. And no, it wasn't on HBO. I can't remember where I saw this. Came out in 73. I would have been 8 when it came out. So I must have been about 10. Maybe, wait a minute. We didn't get HBO till, maybe I was 12. But I watched it on HBO, I know that, and I think we got HBO in 77. And I had to walk my brother home in the dark after seeing it. That is one of the scariest movies I've ever seen in my life. And I think it's because it's got one of those documentary type styles to it. It looks like it's the real thing when you're watching it. This movie's amazing. And if you're somebody of faith, this movie really scares the shit out of you. It really does, man. It's great. What William Friedkin, who we lost, about a year and a half ago? Great filmmaker. Yeah, this movie, I don't think I need to explain why it's so scary. It's both a religious and a jump scare type of thing. Linda Blair, God love her, she ended up making all kinds of softcore friggin' prison movies after this, when she became an adult. But she was in a few of the Exorcist movies, and I never watched any of the sequels to The Exorcist. They had one, I think William Holden was in it, and I thought about watching that one, but then I said, nah, I'm not watching this stuff. But Ellen Bernstein was the mother. Max von Sydow's Father Marin. Linda Blair is Reagan. Lee J. Cobb, who was a great character actor back then, played Lieutenant Kitterman. But the guy that I always dug was Jason Miller as Father Karras. And I always thought this movie was actually about his crisis of faith. I always thought that that's what the movie's really about, Yes, Linda Blair's character, Reagan, gets taken over by the demon, by the devil, whatever. But really, if you really watch that movie and pay attention, it's really about this guy's crisis of faith, and he's a minister in it. And I just thought this movie was just it scared the shit out of me when I was a kid, and I've watched it since when I was a grown man, and it's still scary to me. I dig it though. It's really good. Let's see. We don't talk about Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Yeah, we don't talk about that one. No. The original Mortal Kombat I dig. The new Mortal Kombat looks like it's going to be good, guys. And by the way, Knock gave us news this morning that it's been backed up till May of next year. It's not coming out in the fall like we thought. So hopefully they're not screwing it up or anything. Let's see. Snortopoopas has some trivia. He says, I used to live 15 miles from Georgetown when I was a cub and saw the movie in the theater when it came out. Really? You must be older than me then, man, because I know this was rated R. Shit. And a real story, he says. He says, and a real story, Comic Relief Crusader says. I think it is based on a true story. Yes, I think it is. Linda spoofed her role in Repossessed. Yeah, she look. Linda has always been self-deprecating about this role. She's never taken it really to heart. That she got pretty much not blackballed, but nobody wanted to work with her after this movie because of all the shit that they had to put her through and stuff. I think they felt bad for her or something. Your mother cooks socks in hell. Yeah, right? I like how you turned that around. I'm really glad I didn't have to read that the correct line. I'm cautiously optimistic about the sequel, even though I thought the previous Mortal Kombat was weak. Well, look, man, it's obvious they paid attention to the fans about the last movie. And by the way, if you've never seen The Exorcist, go check it out, guys. It is a good movie. If you're a believer, it's going to scare you, man. Because I'm a believer, and that movie scares me. But what's scary about it is, though, that the demon goes after the weakest among us to try and get it at the strongest You know, it's really a shame. E. Clay Thomas is here. He says, "Yo, Joe." Hey, man, it's good to see you. Das Wolfen says, "I won't eat split pea soup, partially because of this movie." No doubt. That scene is just horrid, isn't it? Ew, my God, it's bad. Good to see you, E. Clay Thomas. Good to see you. But anyway, that's number 3 on my list. It's number 4. Let me go ahead and keep going here, and we'll get to number 3. Number 3 is a John Carpenter movie. It's not a non-Carpenter movie. It's a John Carpenter movie, and you guys are going to call me silly, but I love John Carpenter movies, man. I think they're great. And this one here and the top one both star the same chick. I was in love with this woman when I was a kid. Oh my God, was I in love with this woman. And she's hot in this flick right here. Woof. I tell you. Hey. Good stuff. Number 3, my favorite horror movies of all time, The Fog. Love The Fog. You know I like pirate stuff, guys. But I love a good ghost story. Ghost stories always seem like the lowest form of horror, you know. But if it's done right, like The Fog, like, what's the one with the, they're here, the little kid in front of the TV, Poltergeist. If it's done like those, they're scary damn movies, man. They really are. Bolt your doors, lock your windows. There's something in the fog. Yeah. Well, the thing in the fog, though, if you know the movie and you know the lore, it's only after certain people. For a reason, right? But from the opening scene where you've got, what is that guy's name? John Houseman is on the beach as the old sailor, telling the story to the kids around the campfire. Oh man, I mean, this movie from beginning to end is great. It's got 2 gorgeous chicks from the time in it. It's got Jamie Lee Curtis, and it's got John's own wife at the time, Adrienne Barbeau, in it. She plays a single mom that has bought a radio station in this coastal town, East Coast town. And oh my God, Adrienne Barbeau was just a babe in this flick. And then, of course, talk about 3 babes in a row. You got Janet Leigh, right? And she actually got to work with her daughter in a movie. And I thought that was pretty cool. John Houseman, he's the guy at the beginning of it telling the story. You know, Tom Atkins, who is he's been around the horror genre for a long time. He's actually he's one of the main characters in John Carpenter. Well, John Carpenter didn't make the movie, but it's part of his Halloween series, Season of the Witch. He's in that one. But I love Tom Atkins. He's been in a lot of horror movies. James Caney. There's a bunch of really good actors in this. But Hal Holbrook as Father Malone. I actually, when I was a kid, you guys are going to laugh at me about this one. Good Lord. I actually me and my buddy actually made a role-playing, Mark, my buddy Mark, guy I buy my comic books from. We actually made a role-playing game of The Fog. And, you know, we had certain landmarks. You had to try and save these people from getting killed by the pirates in the fog, right? It's a good movie, man. It really is. And just like most of his movies, very efficient. It's not very long. It's actually under an hour and a half, which knock, if you're watching, you'd love, right? But the thing about it, it's, once again, creepy as fuck, scary as fuck, with not that much blood in it, guys. That's how you can tell it's a really scary movie. If it scares you and there's no blood in it, right? Let's see. 3 Scream Queens. Absolutely. Yeah. Let's see. Let me go ahead and scroll back up and see what you're saying in the chat. Comic Relief says he's got to go. You take care, my brother. It's good to see you. Let's see. Keely Jow said AVGN Super Mario Brothers 3 episodes and the Eek, the cat episode, The Exorcist, spoofed this movie. Yeah, it did. Yeah, it did. Let's see. You take care of yourself, Comic Relief Crusader. It was good to see you. Let's see. The remake was terrible. Yes, I went and saw the remake hoping for something good, and it sucked. That's one of the ones that really turned me off of remakes of a lot of things. Absolutely, the remake of that. Das Wolfen says, did you see the recent pictures of Jamie Lee Curtis during the promotion of Freaky Friday? Woof. Yeah, I did. Oh my God, yeah. I mean, what are you going to do? And jeez, man. That girl needs a breast reduction now. It's ridiculous. The Fog was good. Even the remake I liked. Really? You liked the remake? I wasn't into the remake. I didn't like it. The 3 Scream Queens, of course, he's talking about, would you call Adrienne Barbeau a Scream Queen? Would you call? I don't think she was. I don't know, though. She was in Swamp Thing, right? Which some could consider a horror movie, even though it's based on a comic book. She was in Escape from New York, and it's a John Carpenter movie, but I don't think that's a horror movie. If you're a New York citizen, I guess you'd think that. But yeah, Janet Leigh and Jamie Lee Curtis. She was the queen of Scream back in the day, no doubt. She did, I think it's 5 horror movies she did, and I watch all of them to this day. I'll have a Jamie Lee Curtis marathon, man. Yeah. Let's see. She will always be the voice of Selena Kyle, Catwoman for me. Okay, which one are we talking about? Adrienne Barbeau or Janet Leigh? I don't think you're talking about Jamie Lee Curtis. Which one of those was the voice of Selena Kyle? Probably Adrienne. If Adrienne and Jamie Lee Curtis were to hug and crush their boobs, it would be Clash of the Titans, no doubt, right? Well, see, that's the thing. They were strapping her down back then. And when she was in these movies, watch Halloween. Good Lord, they strapped her down big time in that movie. It's ridiculous. Let's see. You don't need blood at times. Looking at you, AEW, no doubt. Huh, Keely Chow? They get a little overboard with it. And Keely says yes. Okay. I never liked Adrienne Barbeau. She looks like my lesbian aunt. Well, let me tell you something, man. Anybody that watched her on the TV show Maude, she was hot when she was young, guys. Okay? And if you've never seen The Fog, she's hot in that movie, too. I viewed Swamp Thing as a horror as a kid, especially the sequel, which is a bit of a monster mash. Really? I didn't know they made a sequel to the Swamp Thing. I really, I remember the one with Adrienne Barbeau. Okay, so she was the voice of Selena Kyle. Okay, I got you. Yeah, well, she's got kind of a smoky voice, so that works, man. But yeah, The Fog, if you've never seen it, man, this is a great, great ghost story. It really is. And I mean ghost story. It's presented as one. Like I said, John Houseman is at the beginning of it telling a ghost story to the kids of the town there. Let's see. Sadly, they made a Swamp Thing 2. Well, let's not talk about Swamp Thing 2, shall we? Okay, that's number 3 on my list. The number 2 on my list is not. It's a non-Carpenter movie. Non-Carpenter. And this one leads more to the, when you're first watching it, it comes across as a slasher movie. There's a few unique things about this, though. It actually leans more to the science fiction side of things. And by the way, I've gone way past the first hour, so it's time to grab a snort. Let's get the military police shot glass out, and we'll fill it up. And, wow. Gonna have to go to the liquor store before tomorrow night before we play some Mass Effect. That's it for the Jack. For this bottle. That's a dead soldier right there. All right, boys and girls. Grab your cocktail of choice and let's hear it for Labor Day weekend. Cheers. As I said, And you know what? You guys are actually getting a preview of what's coming on State of the Atmosphere, because I don't know if you remember last year, we celebrated Halloween all month long. And I plan on doing it again because I like horror movies and I don't get to see them that much anymore. But this one, like I said, starts off kind of like a slasher movie, but you come to find out it's actually a science fiction show. And it's probably the only one on this list where, well, no, I take that back. The Thing is another one with not too many chicks in it. This one, instead of having a final girl, it's got a final guy, a teenage boy. And that movie is Phantasm. If you've never seen Phantasm, this one's number 2 on my list. It's one of my favorites. I think I dug into the lore of it whenever I mean, how many of us, this is 1979, this is 2 years after Star Wars comes out. How many people thought those were evil Jawas carrying the canisters around, huh? How many people thought that's what they were? Phantasm has to do with two brothers, and they end up, after a funeral, the youngest one becomes enthralled in what's going on at a mortuary at this graveyard, and he sticks his nose in a little too much, and an iconic horror bad guy is born in the Tall Man that's chasing him around. It is fantastic. If you've never seen this movie, I highly recommend Phantasm. It is one of the greatest of all time. Let's see. I don't. Killy Chow says I don't drink that much, but if I did, I love it when he does this. I would have done a lot of drinking last night because of what Florida State did to Alabama. Yeah, I enjoyed it though, buddy. I got to tell you, you guys were on top for a long time. We're kind of enjoying you guys being brought down to earth. But you know what? You won't be down for long, bud. You won't be down for long. The Swamp Thing animated series was underrated. I heard the Swamp Thing live action was pretty good. And the only reason why they didn't go forward with another season of it is because they lost their... I think they lost their... what do they call that? It's not a rebate. Tax incentives. They lost their tax incentives to film it where they were filming it at, I think. And so they lost the sets and everything, and that was a big part of it. I haven't seen it, but I hear the live action one was good. It's sad that the Swamp Thing show never had a second season. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'm pretty sure they lost their tax incentives, I think. I'm pretty sure, and they couldn't afford it, is why they had to back off of it. Angus Scrim was the Tall Man. Yes, he was. And I don't know if he's passed away or not, but man, if he ever came to a con, I'd definitely want to meet that guy. The costume was better in the sequel, too, and I like that Durock played the character like a typical hero, but looked like a monster. Yeah, he's talking about Swamp Thing. Wow, you guys really are into Swamp Thing, huh? Yeah, that's very cool. Let's see. Read by Nature says, live action Swamp Thing was very good. Criminal, it didn't get renewed. Yeah. Like I said, I'm pretty sure they lost their tax incentives and they lost all their sets and stuff is what happened. Who is the Tall Man supposed to be? An alien? I never fully understood the movie. Yeah, look, he died in 2016. Diddy Das Wolfen? That's a shame. That's a shame. Okay, let me see if I can explain this to you, E. Clay Thomas. Basically, this guy was reanimating dead people and turning them into slaves to work on another planet. And he used a portal. That's what those... remember the guy figured it out because of the tuning fork? He saw those two things. He stopped them and he got blown off of it. It was a portal between two worlds. And in the tall man's world, they need slaves to do stuff for them. And that's basically all it is. He's running a mortuary so he can take these dead people, compress them because I think the gravity is higher on their planet or something like that. I can't remember exactly. But they need slaves on their planet, and that's how they create them, is with the dead that we process through a mortuary. These people are being buried, and there's nothing in the caskets because they're being reanimated and sent to another planet, on another world. Let's see. Swamp Thing, do not drink your evil here. Then I showed up. Oh my God, my man. What are you doing? It is Fuck Headquarters 2005? No, it's not. It's not Fuck Headquarters 2005. It is.
There are some who call me Tim.
It is Tim, boys and girls. He has joined us. Yeah, he threw me off with that statement, buddy boy. And then I showed up. There you go, man. Read by Nature says, I heard the lead actor isn't the best health these days either. Really? The guy that's the teenage kid in it? I think a lot of these people are gone that are in this movie. Tim says, bring your evil here, doing too many things. Okay. Sure, bro. Speaking of famous people, Kelly Chow says, coming to a convention, Pussy Will Wheaton is coming to the Huntsville Comic and Pop Culture Expo, April 17th through 19th of 2026. Well, if you're in that area, make sure you go and give him as much shit as you can possibly give him. Kelly Chow saying, hail Tim. And let's see. Eclay Thomas says, if some people call you Tim, then what do the other people call you? Fuck Headquarters 2005. That's what they call him. Of course. But anyway, Phantasm, if you've never seen it, go check it out. It's a different movie. It's low budget. It's got a bunch of actors you've never heard of. And I love it. I think the creative way they do the stunts in it, some of the animatronics they do in it, like the finger, and how it turns into this killer spider flying thing. Oh my God, it's so cheesy, but it's awesome. And the silver ball, that's what they went haywire with in the sequels, man. They had 2 and 3 balls this guy had, but man, amazing movie. I loved that movie when I was a kid. That's number 2 on my list. But you guys, I love John Carpenter. So you know what number 1 is on my list. I talk about this show every Halloween. It is the best Halloween movie of all time, if you ask me. It's John Carpenter's movie that put him on the map. I don't know why I'm having a hard time. There it is. Okay, there we go. Titles. Okay, it's Halloween. Once again, it is... Okay, there are all, only 2 movies I think can really... I think you can safely say this is the first modern day slasher movie. I think you can call it that. Because the 2 movies that I would consider slashers before this would be the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and that was... Excuse me. That was more like a... That one was a little bit more realistic than this one. This one's got kind of a mythical edge to it. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I think, is a little bit more realistic. It might even be scarier than this one, but that one's just, oof. It's rough to watch. It really is. But, oh my God, what is all the Shut Up Wesley things? Let's see. Oh yeah, I got you. Yeah, shut up, Wesley. Make sure you go tell him that when you see him. Guess I'm going? Okay. Well, take care of yourself, Wolvie. It was good to see you. I hate that you're not going to hang out, man. I dig talking to you. Let's see. Shut up, Wesley. That's right. Yeah. Oh, the rest of them call you Mr. Tibbs, do they? Really? All right, Tim. I like that. I love that reference. They call me Mr. Tibbs. Damn it. Eclay's laughing. Snooter. You guys are having too much fun in the chat. Good Lord. Nom, 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 nom. Psycho would be the first. That's what I was going to say. That was the other one I was going to say would be the first slash. It might be considered the first slasher movie. Yeah, I can see that. But I'd say this is modern day slasher movies, the way they do it. I hear you, brother. Speaking of Donald Pleasance, he was shot down today over France in 1944. Really? On this date? Really? Wow, man. That's cool. I mean, it wasn't cool for him, but, you know. Gonna tell Wesley to shut up. That's right. That's right. He was the only real POW in The Great Escape. Really? Wow. That's amazing. No, dude, I live in Huntsville. Oh, you're gonna go. I got you. Yes. And you got to tell him, shut up, Wesley. Damn it. You know. Did you see the Halloween game trailer? No. Hang on a second. Do I have something we need to look for here? What? Wait a minute. Halloween game trailer. Halloween game trailer. There it is. Boom. Hang on. Let's see. When did this come out? 11 days ago. Oh my gosh. Hang on a second. Oh my God. We're going to have to watch this together, boys and girls. Hang on. Let me get this ready to go here. Let me get this ready to go. Oh man, if this is good, I'm buying it. Let me tell you. I don't buy horror games very much. Read by nature. But let's go ahead and pause the background music because we got to check this out, man. Got to check this out. I got to change my what I'm sharing here so that we can have some audio. Chrome tab, Halloween game trailer. All right, boys and girls, let me do my my magic here and make sure that we're going to try not to get popped on this because I would really like to keep this in the show. Here we go, boys and girls. Let's check out. It's 1:52. I'll stop it every once in a while. Let's see what this is all about. Halloween the game reveal trailer. Future games show Gamescom 2025. Okay, here we go. Oh man. Get out of here. Did you see that? It's got the same script. It's got the that sound. Oh my God, that's cool.
A quiet town. Just like hundreds of other small towns all across America. A town just like yours. But
wow. I dig it. This is cool. I hope this is on different platforms. I hope it's not just on computer because I don't play computer games.
Was here on October 31st, 1963. No motive, no warning, no provocation, just senseless death.
This is cool. Rows of houses, right? You're saying that they may be lined up like a meat locker. Wow.
I met him 15 years ago. I thought there was hope, that he could be reached. But what I met was not a child. No emotion. Perhaps not even human. 15 years later, he returned home. But what happened that night was only the beginning. It wasn't just a killing spree, it was a reckoning.
Wow. This is kick-ass, man. I'm digging it. This is badass. And we'll talk more about the movie itself here in a second, but this is very cool, man. I'm digging it.
Whoa, calm down.
He was going for me to. Come on, we have to go.
No.
You can't stop him. You can't reason with him. You can't kill the boogeyman.
Get out of town. A single player and multiplayer horror experience coming in 2026. I may buy my first horror game, guys. This is badass. Oh my god. Dude, that is awesome. Thanks for sharing, my brother. Oh my gosh. Are you kidding me? That is badass. Yeah, I'm in. I'll dig it. That's awesome. That's really cool. Oh my gosh. Read by Nature. Thank you so much for that heads up, dude. That's really killer. That's what I meant by I'm going. Yes, you go and tell him to shut up. Damn straight. From the same guys as Friday the 13th. So I expect Kane Hodder is the mod cap for Michael. Okay, well, see, I heard about the Friday the 13th game, but I've never been a fan of Friday the 13th. Let me tell you, it's not that I'm not a fan. I've seen a lot of them. I actually think out of that franchise, my favorite one is probably the final chapter, which didn't end up being the final chapter, but I just loved how the kid made himself. It's one of the Coreys, isn't it? He ended up being in the Lost Boys movie later on, right? The little kid that fucked up his hair and made himself look like Jason Voorhees, right? To fuck with him at the end of that movie. Am I off base here, guys? Am I talking about the right movie? I think it was called The Final Chapter, right? When the ambulance shows up and the paramedics get fucked up and everything at the end of it. Anyway, I've never been a big fan of the Jason movies. I just haven't. They're comical to me. I think that the death scenes in them are hilarious. I think it's because of Friday the 13th 3 in 3D. I went and saw that in the theater in 3D. And it was just, when he squished that one guy's head, and it was clear that the eye was at the end of a friggin', a stick or something, because it was wiggling in the air. That movie's comical. It is. The third one that's in 3D is just fucking comical. I thought the first one was comical because the first one I saw on HBO. Okay. And there had been all this hype about how scary this movie was and everything, right? And me and my buddy, he was not Mark, this other friend of mine named John, was over spending the night. Let's go ahead and watch it. It's on HBO. We'll watch it. Laughed our asses off the entire time. Of course, that's the difference between watching a movie in a darkened movie theater. My experience could have been totally different if I've been watching that in a darkened movie theater. Me and Das Wolfen were talking about this earlier today. He said he had taken somebody to see Jaws recently in a theater, and I took my daughter, who was an adult at the time, when she was in her early 20s. I took her to see Jaws in a theater, and she was like, "Dad, I've seen that movie." Nah. I said, "No, you haven't seen it in the theater. It's a totally different movie when you're in a darkened theater." And we walked out of Jaws, and I said, "Yeah, it's different now, isn't it?" She goes, "Oh yeah, that movie's a lot scarier on the big screen." Yeah, But anyway, I just never have been a big fan of the Friday the 13th. I think they're funny. I don't think they're scary. I think they're hilarious the way they kill people in them. I think it's great. Kind of like Freddy. That's another franchise. There's a few there's a few of those movies that I really dig. New Nightmare I liked a lot. I think my favorite one is Dream Warriors, though. The kids in the mental hospital. That fucking was badass. I thought it was awesome. But then again, it wasn't really a horror movie. You know what I mean? It was more like a superhero movie almost. But anyway, let's see. Das Wolfen says, only if you can't get different masks made by Shamrock Corporation in multiplayer, right? You need to get those different masks, man. Make it part of the lore, right? Yeah, you got to be able to get that. My favorite is Jason X. Isn't that the one in space? Jason in space with a killer new steel mask. Yeah, that series is so over the top. Mouth from the Goonies. Yeah, right. Let's see. Are we talking about the same guy? Is that him? Life lessons from Friday the 13th. Don't have sex at summer camp. Well, yeah, that's what we found out when Scream came out, right? They explained the rules of a horror movie, right? The slasher movie. That guy explained the rules of it, right? I like Jason as a character, but the Freddy movies are consistently better than the Friday movies. The Friday movies have always been B-flicks, man. They have always been B-flicks. At their core, they're B-flicks. I went with my wife. She even got caught by a jump scare when Hooper is diving on the fisherman's boat and the body pops out of the hole. The head. It was the head that pops out of the hole, right? Yeah, that got everybody in the theater. That scared the shit out of everybody. And you know what? Even if you've seen it before, it still gets you. Why? Because of that single note and the music kicks in. That's what does it. That is what does it, man. The whole thing. Don't forget the power of music in movies. But getting back to this one, look, Halloween is a perfect movie, if you ask me. As far as horror movies go, Donald Pleasance is awesome as the psychiatrist. Whoever's doing his voice in that trailer was really good. Of course, I sped that up a little bit to try to avoid the copyright and all that good stuff. Excuse me. I hope, since it's from the Jason devs, that they get Tom Savini to make an original Michael skin like he did for Jason Voorhees and Ash Williams. Okay, cool. Let's see. Was the head in Jaws? Yeah. Yeah, he's talking about when the head pops out of the hull of the boat. They're looking for the shark. What happens is, okay, here's the progression of events that we're talking about. In the movie Jaws, and I'm a big fan of that movie. I read the book before I went and saw the movie. I thought the ending of the movie was much better, much more exciting, blowing up the shark, because it was really, Brody was swimming away from the shark, trying not to get eaten, and it just died from all the attacks that they had given it. Yes, the head was in Jaws, the original one. What we're talking about is the guys had caught a shark, and Hooper was trying to argue that the bite radius was not the same as the previous victims on the shark that they had caught. And, of course, the city planners are going, bullshit, that's the shark. We don't have sharks around here that big, blah, blah, blah. So they go to the dock that night, and, well, actually, no, he goes to dinner at Brody's house because he's about to leave because they think they found the shark. And he's like, well, I'd really like to, and they both get drunk. And he said, I'd really like to go slice that thing open and see if that girl's in there or the kid's in there, because, it was after the kid got eaten on the beach. And he said, because if he's still in there, it takes a long time for these things to digest things. He'll still be in there. That's an easy way to tell if it's a shark. So they go down there at night, half drunk. And I love the fact that my home state is represented here when he's pulling all the stuff out of the shark's belly. He said, that's what I thought. It came up from Southern Waters. He's like, what are you talking about? He pulls out a license plate, throws it at him, and says Sportsman's Paradise, Louisiana. Right? That's what's on the license plate. Anyway, the kid's not in the belly. So Hooper says, well, let's go take my boat out. And this is when you find out he's rich. He's got more money than he knows what to do with. He's got this killer boat with this killer set of sonar and all this other bullshit. And he says, look, they're territorial feeders. We're going to go see if he's out here. And they find Ben Gardner's boat, a fisherman that Chief Brody knows very well. And they find his boat, and it looks like it's half underwater. And without any scuba gear on, without a snorkel, nothing. He just, he's in the water a lot, Hooper. He just holds his breath, and he goes down and checks out the hull of the boat. And that's when he comes up on the hole, and the guy's head pops through it. That is the head part in Jaws. Yes, absolutely. Let's see. Snorter Pooper says, I thought so. Not much in Jaws really scares me a lot, but that scene with the head did and still does. It gets everybody, and it's because of the music and everything. The whole atmosphere of it. It's so calm. The whole thing. He's just going swimming at night. He's going to check out the hull of the boat, right? Yeah. You're just calm, relax, and boom, there's a head with no eyeball, right? It's missing an eyeball, right? I think much like with Jaws for blockbusters, Halloween was early on enough that it set the standard for the genre. Yeah, but here's the thing. The rest of the genre went totally gore-fest. And you know what? The sequel to this did too. That's how you can tell John didn't make it. They went, Friday the 13th with the second one. You remember it was more of the night he came home, right? You remember the first one is the night he came home, right? And then the second one was more of the night he came home. But that one, oh my God, I can't, hang on. Let me look it up real quick. Can't remember who directed that one, but my gosh, it was a gore fest. Had some hot babes in it, let me tell you. Jamie Lee had a bad wig, though. Look at that. She had a bad wig on in that one. Woof. This was a few years later. It was about 4 years after the first one. I think it said, more of the night he came home. It starts immediately after Donald Pleasance can't fight him outside that balcony after he put 6 slugs in him, after he emptied that 38 on him. But anyway, they went total gore fest. I mean, there's one part where he turns up the water in a hot tub and boils a girl's flesh right off and stuff. It's fucked up. This was crazy, and the way they kill him in this, or at least they think they've killed him, is bizarre. Let me tell you. But they got some hot chicks in this movie. Good Lord, there's some really good looking chicks. Hang on. Okay. Charles Cyphers. He looks like somebody else. Yikes. But anyway, this one is more of a slasher in the style of Freddy and Jason. It's just all out gore. It really is. But the first one isn't. There's only a little bit of blood. There's 2 scenes with blood in them. And the scenes with blood in them are when he initially kills his sister, and you see that in flashing moments. This is the thing. You can tell that John Carpenter loves old horror movies because that came straight out of Psycho. He showed you through the eyes of the killer, but he was showing you different things. He was showing you the knife. He was showing you the girl. There was some blood there, but it's very, you can't really tell what's going on because you're seeing it all through these 2 holes of this mask. The other part that had blood in it, and it's not very long you see it, is where the girl on the bed had her throat slit. Right? It was the dark-haired chick that had to wash her clothes because she spilled popcorn butter on it or something. Anyway, she's lying on the bed in front of the tombstone, and her throat slit. And that's it. There's no splatter or anything. Whenever he sticks the boyfriend to the wall, right? You see it all, but it's all in the dark. It's all silhouette. There's no blood involved. None. You know? But it's so, the visuals, the way he does it, it's just fucking awesome. It's so scary. One of Shaw's kids played him in a stage dramatization of his feud with Dreyfus. Really? Huh. I didn't know that. Let's see. The third one is the Superior sequel. Yeah, well, they were going to make an anthology out of it, right? I mean, the original Halloween movie, the first working title for it was The Babysitter. That's what the title of it was. And they decided to go with Halloween later on. But, you know, after that second one, they thought about making it an anthology of just scary stories with the Halloween tag on it, right? And I really wish they'd have gone that route. Don't get me wrong, I like Jamie Lee Curtis, and I think the Mike movies are cool and everything. But they became comical, just like Jason, just like Freddy, you know? And you're right. Whoever said it was the measuring stick, you're absolutely correct. It was. Let's see. Small Time Republic is here. He says Halloween 3 is quite the departure from the first two. Well, like I've been explaining, they were thinking about making an anthology at one time. Because they really thought, hey, we've killed off Mike. He's done. You know? Because that's what it looked like at the end of that movie. It looked like they had killed him. You know? But then they brought him back over and over again. And if you read the novelization, you understand why. Mike... It's not really Mike you're seeing. He's been possessed, much like Reagan in The Exorcist, by the spirit of the boogeyman, the guy that was killed way back in the Sam Hain festival days, you know. It's pretty interesting stuff. If you've never read the novelization of Halloween, go check that out, man. You'll understand where Carpenter was coming from when he told the story and called him the boogeyman over and over again. And why the psychiatrist was so scared of him. He sat there, he wasn't kidding when he said, you know, there was nothing in those eyes that looked human to me. You know, he meant what he was saying. You know what I mean? Let's see. I didn't know that Shaw and Dreyfus had a feud. Yeah. One of them's rich and the other one's a working fisherman. Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Yeah, I got you. Well, actually, if you read the book, Hooper was having an affair with Brody's wife in the book. Yeah. The book's a lot different from the movie. It's a good book, and it was a bestseller. A lot of people read Jaws. I read it, and... But like I said, anticlimactic ending, you know. Let's see. Read by Nature says, considering how different Carpenter's other movies are to each other, it would be fun to see what else he would do with anthology series. Well, he actually has a trilogy. And The Thing is part of it. What is that called, John? It's the... Oh my gosh, I can't remember what they call that trilogy, but there's 3 movies that he made. They're all supposed to be linked together. The Thing is the first one. Yes, the Apocalypse trilogy. Thank you, Read by Nature. The 3 movies are The Thing. That's the first one. The second one is The Prince of Darkness. Oh, it's one of the most underrated movies he ever made. Let me pull that one up. Oh, my God. The Prince of Darkness is awesome. Donald Pleasance plays a father in the Catholic Church in that one. Hang on, let me pull it up real quick. The Prince of Darkness, if you've never seen this one, It is really, really, really good, man. If I can get this of darkness. Why is it not showing up? That's weird. Isn't that the name of it? The Prince of Darkness? Thought that was the name of it. Let me hit search. People, where are you serious? Am I getting this wrong? I thought that was the name of the movie. Yeah, Prince of Darkness is dope. Has Alice Cooper. Yeah, it does. Real quick, Dos Wolfen says Richard Dreyfuss and Robert Shaw had a significant onset feud during the filming of Jaws, fueled by Shaw's competitive nature, drinking habits, and disdain for Dreyfuss's relative inexperience. That's perfect because it plays out like a rivalry in the movie too. So that's great. That's why it's so realistic, I guess. Yeah, Prince of Darkness is dope. Has Alice Cooper. It's not showing up here. In the Mouth of Madness is the third one, but I wanted to show you guys that one. They Live was the third film. No, They Live is not the third film. No, In the Mouth of Madness is the third movie in the apocalyptic trilogy. Why am I... Maybe the word "the" isn't in it. Hang on. Prince of Darkness. Let me just type in Prince of Darkness. Sometimes IMDb is so stupid. Sorry. Of Darkness. I'm boomering this all over the place. Well, yeah, sure enough. I take the "the" off of it, and there it is. Good Lord, Joe. Prince of Darkness is the name of the movie, and there he is, right there. Alice Cooper. Bigger than shit. I dropped the IMDb link. Oh, no big. I found it. It just took me a second. I boomered it, Wolfie. I boomered it. But yeah, Prince of Darkness. It's one of the most underrated movies he ever made, man. Donald Pleasance. I think Tom Atkins may be in this one too, because Tom Atkins was in a bunch of his movies. Lisa Blunt. Jameson Parker. Victor Wong is in it. Yeah. Dennis Dunn, Susan Blanchard. Yeah. Look, and even look at this. The only credit for Ann Yin. Because that's the fucking chamber it's in right there. That's her picture. This one is wild, man. I haven't seen it in a long time, but I'm going to have to revisit it soon now that we're talking about the Apocalypse trilogy. Whew, shit. It is basically they're trying to stop the devil from coming to Earth in this one. That's really the Reader's Digest version of it. Yeah, you'd have to watch it and see. And there's another movie that has the church that's in this shown prominently. I want to say it was Dogma. I think it's the same church that they use in Dogma that's in this movie. You know, the set they used for the church in Jersey? I think it's the same one. But anyway, yeah, it's Dogma, he says. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yo, They Live is not the third movie, but They Live is a great movie. It really is. But Prince of Darkness is fantastic. You need to check this movie out. Look, this one's scary. It's scary, but just like everything else, it's not a slasher movie. But it will scare you, no doubt. And the third one is, I think it's In the Mouth of Madness. Yep. There you go. 1994. This one's got Sam Neill. And, you know, I really don't remember this one. I've seen it, but I really don't remember it. An insurance investigator begins discovering that the impact a horror writer's books have on his fans is more than inspirational. Yeah, this is some Stephen King-like stuff right here. Let me tell you. But anyway, Sam Neill. You know, you've seen the meme of him yelling on the bus over and over again. I'm sure, you know, losing his shit. But yeah, this one, I need to revisit this one. I haven't seen it in a long time. I love this guy here, Jürgen Prochnow, has been in so many good movies. Of course, everybody knows he was in Das Boot, The Boat, which is probably the greatest sub movie ever made. It's fucking scary, claustrophobic, all that good stuff. David Warner, how can you get any better than David Warner? My favorite movie with him in it is one called I think it's called Time After Time. Is that the name of it? With him and I think it's Malcolm McDowell that's in that one. It's the guy that's in A Clockwork Orange. I think it's Malcolm, isn't it? Roddy McDowell played... Yeah, it's Malcolm McDowell. Malcolm McDowell plays H.G. Wells, who actually has a time machine, and David Warner plays Jack the Ripper. And he's one of his best friends, plays chess with him all the time. And when he finds out he's got a time machine, he goes back in time. Or actually, no, he goes forward in time to the future, to our future in the 70s. And he's right at home. He loves it. And H.G. Wells has to go after him. Let's see. The Fog was pretty good too. Yeah, I already talked about that. That's on my list, man. It's number 3. It's number 3 on my list of favorite horror movies ever, Matt. Love The Fog. It's one of the few good ghost stories that's out there. The ghost stories just aren't that good. Now, I haven't seen The Conjuring. Haven't seen that. You know, I haven't seen a lot of horror movies since the beginning of, you know, ever since the turn of the century. I haven't seen many horror movies. I've only seen one Saw movie, the first one, and that's it. I used to watch horror movies with my daughter, and ever since she's become an adult, Rhonda won't watch them, and nobody around me watches them. The only one, like when I went and saw Nosferatu in the theater last Christmas, me and Mark went, my buddy that loves John Carpenter movies, and we have marathons every once in a while. But anyway, yeah, that's my list. Halloween is number 1 on it. Let's see, what are we talking about here? Let me go ahead and drop this down. I've thought for a while that it would be cool to make a genre escalation series based on Carpenter's Apocalypse trilogy, where it starts as one, ends as another. Oh, I got you. Do a fan edit, man. Do a fan edit of all 3. Yeah. Hell, you could have them... Ooh. I wonder if anybody ever thought about doing them, like, simultaneously. Like they all happened at the same time, right? You know? Show a section of the thing, then show a section of the Prince of Darkness, then a section of In the Mouth of Madness. That could be interesting. Das Wolfen says, have you read Sutter Kane? No, I have not. Das Boot is awesome. Wolvie says, yeah, I knew you'd like that one, bro. I know you like a good war movie. That one's fantastic. Let's see. Das Wolfen says, yep. Where he chased Jack the Ripper. You can't say Ripper? Oh, okay. I see. For some reason, it cut it off. Jack the Ripper Across Time. Yeah, it's great. That movie's awesome. I love that flick. Let me pull that up for you guys. If you've never seen Time After Time, it is great. Because, you know, we've never found out who Jack the Ripper was. In this case, he's a surgeon who's friends with H.G. Wells and steals a time machine and goes to the future in the 70s. Came out in 1979. And, yeah, it's a really good movie. And I think... What is that girl's name that's in this? Yes, Mary Steenburgen, the girl from my favorite Back to the Future movie. Yes, I love Back to the Future 3. It's my favorite one, damn it. But yeah, she's in it. She's the love interest. And oh my God, yeah, it's a great movie. I love everything right down to the design of the time machine. I thought that was cool as shit, you know. And it takes place in the 70s. You know, they both have to come to the future. They're both products of their own age, and he's right at home in the future. You know, he can get away with murder in the future. You know, and Malcolm McDowell has to go get him. He just doesn't feel right knowing that Jack the Ripper has gotten away with it, man. He's found out that he was Jack the Ripper and he's got to go get him, you know. It's really cool. That movie's really cool. If you've never seen that one, you know, go check it out. Let's see. Read by Nature says Warner is terrific. Does plenty of voice acting too. He's Irenicus? Is that how I pronounce that? You guys know I've got a buzz and you're trying to get me to pronounce stupid bullshit. Irenicus in Baldur's Gate 2. Is he? Okay. Very cool. That's cool as shit. Let's see. Competing apocalypse is an interesting idea, Read by Nature says. What I'm talking about, is that what you think? You know, doing it as a continuous cut, like it's all happening at the same time. I did Das Wolfen says I did a fan edit of Star Trek 2, 3, and 4 as a single 4-hour movie. Oh, that's cool, man. I'd love to see that. I saw them. I hope you didn't cut out the scene where he's handing out the money on the street corner in San Francisco, because I actually saw them filming that when I was based at the Presidio in the spring of 1986. That's when they were filming that. Let's see, The Voyage Home came out when? Because I know they were filming it in spring of 86. Well, I guess it must have come out later on that year in 86. Because I know they were filming it in 86. Because I was in San Francisco all the way up to June of 86. I was there from, what? Let's see. January, February, March. So I was there April, May, and June of 86 is when I was there. What was the release date on this? I see the year, but don't they usually give you the release date? They usually give you the release date somewhere. Because I saw them filming this thing. Details. Yep. Later on that year. November 26th, 1986. Yep. Yeah. I saw them in April of 86. When they were filming in downtown San Francisco. I was stationed at the Presidio. Yep. We were in a van going to a mission. Yep. Let's see. I'd love to see that, though. Because I'm sure it improves the weakest link of it, the search for Spock. Now, I mean, it was a needed chapter and everything. And I love Christopher Lloyd, but, you know, it really, that movie right there, it was kind of silly. It was kind of silly, but I loved 2 and 4. You know, the even number Star Trek movies. They're great. They really are. Speaking of David Warner, I recently saw Straw Dogs. The 70s had so many rough, almost depressing movies. Yeah, Straw Dogs is rough, dude. It's got a rape scene in it. You know, a lot of movies in the 70s had rape scenes in it. I need to watch my language on YouTube. Yeah, they did. Straw Dogs. My gosh, man. That was a long time ago. Dustin Hoffman was the lead actor in that movie. I saw it. God, I think I was in my 20s when I saw that movie. Because when I was younger, I used to sit there and actors I really liked, I'd watch all their stuff, and when not Kramer versus Kramer, but when Tootsie came out, I said, yeah, I got to check this guy out because he was awesome in fucking Tootsie. That movie was off the chain right there. Let's see. Well, double dumbass on you too. Laughing my ass off when Kirk said that. Yeah, no doubt, man. Look, we know that The Voyage Home is the comedy of the bunch, but it was a feel-good movie too. And the girl that was in it, oh my God, she was gorgeous. What was her name, dude? The fucking biologist that was taking care of the whales. She was gorgeous. Yeah, Catherine Hicks. Catherine Hicks was a babe, man. She was a babe. She really was. I thought she was the bomb.com. Let's see what she's known for. Child's Play? Really? She was in Child's Play? See, I never watched that. I could not be scared of a doll. I'm sorry. If it tried to kill me, I'd just fucking, throw it out the window. I can't see it. The Voyage Home, Seventh Heaven, and Peggy Sue Got Married. She was in Peggy Sue Got Married? Huh. That was one of my favorite movies, too. That's Coppola's nephew. What's his name? Nicolas Cage. And girl that was a babe at the time, but boy, you saw her in Law and Order years later, and woof, she put on a few pounds after that. She liked eating. Kathleen Turner. That was a good movie. That was another time traveling movie. It was a different type of time traveling movie, but it was. Let's see. Sam Peckinpah. Das Wolfen says Sam Peckinpah was an underrated director. Straw Dogs, Wild Bunch, Cross of Iron, The Osterman Weekend were some of his films. Yeah, Sam Peckinpah was really good. I can't remember which Western it was. Might have been The Wild Bunch. But there's a scene in one of the Westerns he did that was a slow motion shot. And the guy had filled, I think he had filled the shotgun with buffalo nickels. And you saw him get shot out of the shotgun at somebody. Yeah, some of his... Sam Peckinpah made some of the grisliest slow-motion death scenes you'll ever see. He did. You got to admit that, man. Woof. He didn't pull any punches when people got splattered. No doubt. Might have been the Wild Bunch that the what I'm talking about is in the shotgun with the... I'm sure it was the Wild Bunch. John says, yeah. You know what I'm talking about, don't you? Oh, my God. But, yeah, Sam Peckinpah, he was a really good director. But, yeah, Straw Dogs was a rough movie. It's all about bullying, and if you back down to it, what's going to happen? It's bad. But anyway, okay. Well, listen, guys, we've been hanging out for 2 hours. It's been a fun time hanging out with you. Unless you want to get into some other stuff, I think I'm about to call it a night. I'm a little bit tired. I've been up really early today. John and I did 3 hours on football earlier today. That was a lot of fun. Shame of it is I forgot to check mark everything I wanted to send it out on, so we just ended up recording it. It's on the channel. It's on all the channels, actually. You can check it out. You can check it out in 2 parts. Part 1 is mostly the college stuff. Wolvie says, cool, man. See y'all next time. For sure, man. I just like getting together and yakking with you about different stuff, guys. And we could talk about whatever you want. Whenever I do the Chillin' at the Club, that's for me to talk to you about stuff I dig, and you can talk back to me, and we'll go wherever it takes us. Excuse me. Das Wolfen says the Wild Bunch was the inspiration for The Red Dead games. Well, that's not surprising. That's not surprising at all. I need to finish Red Dead Redemption. I really do. I love the online. Now that you mention it, I'm probably going to get off of here and catch on our college football game. But after that, I may pull out Red Dead and go hunting. I'll go on a road trip from my camp all the way up to the top of the map up there in Canada. The top of that ice-covered mountain. You know. Keely Chow says, thanks for a great show. No problem, man. That's, you know, we wouldn't be here without you guys. I appreciate you being here. He also says, go Cowboys, fuck the Eagles, fuck Philly. I am with you on that. I just don't think it's going to happen. Let's hope the Cowboys can come up with something to stop these fools. You know, every once in a while a team comes along that has cracked the code for a little while. The last one that did was KC. I got a feeling that Philly has cracked the code for a little bit. But you know what? Somebody's going to figure out a defense to stop them. Somebody's going to figure out a way to stop their running game. You know, somebody's going to do that. It's going to happen. But for right now, Philly's got the bragging rights. They are the men. They are the ones. So we're going to have to live with it for now. Okay, boys and girls, you know I'm not good at promoting myself worth a shit, but I'm going to try. I'm going to go ahead and tell you to go by joesatmosphere.com. On that website, you will see 3 ways to contact me about different things if you want to support me or get something for yourself. First of all, I've got to redo this website so you can actually see some of the portraits I draw. And the quickest way to get a commission done, if you want me to draw a portrait for you, if you want me to draw you as a superhero, I can do that. I mean, I'm a pencil sketch portrait artist, and I love what I do. You guys, all you have to do is hit that little message box and send me an email, and we'll get that commission done for you. I ship anywhere in the world, guys. Also, there's a link to support the comic book, and that'll take you to my Subscribe Star page. A $1 subscription to that will, and all you have to do is sign up for a month, and you'll see everything. The written word, all the plots for the comic books I've written so far, all the words and stories and everything, you can read them all. If you unlock the $5 tier, the Pirate Patriot tier, then you can see all the artwork as well. All the pages. I've got the first 2 comic books already plotted, guys. They're all right here on Subscribe Star. Go check them out. And that's the first link on my page. The other link, Atmosphere Comics on Kindle, you hit that and you can go check out the 0 issue I put out, the little teaser, the first 5 pages of inked artwork on the Privateer. Go check it out. See what's up with it. You know, of course, you're going to have to pay $1 to see it. These people on Kindle, they want server money, I guess. I tried to put it up for free, but they wouldn't. But anyway, those action buttons are right there. Plus, you'll see videos about my sketching, and there's some of my pictures, my portraits. That's actually a mural I did at a nightclub. I used to do murals in the nightclubs I worked at all the time. My favorite works, well, that's got to be the work I did with the Mardi Gras cruise, designing floats, stuff like that. And it's got my streaming schedule and the beginnings of my marketplace. But what's always there is commissions. You can click that, and it'll take you straight to the email part where you can reach out to me if you want to get a commission done. So if you want to support me and the channel, that's the best way to do it. Go over to joesatmosphere.com and check it out. Let me get the music going again here. See, I get a buzz and I forget to do things. Of course, you know, you're watching Chillin' at the Club number 10. We do this whenever Highlander can't meet with me on a Sunday night, so I get together and have a cocktail or two and hang out in the club with you guys. So, look, next week it should be The Brothers Hack the Matrix, but if it's not, we'll come right back here and chill at the club. Whatever it ends up being, we're going to have a good time. But anyway, thanks for watching. The next time you'll see me is going to be tomorrow morning on Pop Culture Minefield's channel. Labor Day is going to be special. They've got Captain Dale Dye showing up, U.S. Marine Corps retired. He is a great friend of Gary's, and Gary's done a lot of covers for his work and stuff. And it's going to be good to see him, and we're going to talk about his movie, The Beast of War. So if you haven't seen it, try and check it out beforehand. If not, come by and hang out with us military vets and talk about that military stuff. You know what I mean? Pope Metallicus the First is going to be there with us, and Anima and Martin will be there as well. So you guys come by 10 a.m. Central Time tomorrow morning on Pop Culture Minefields channel. And then, of course, at 4, or actually special time, a half an hour early, 3:30 p.m. Central Time tomorrow, it'll be Baldur's Gate with Brian from That 70s Rock Fans channel. I'll be trolling him as he plays some Baldur's Gate. He is almost done with Phase 2, the Underdark and all that good stuff. He's almost done with it. So come watch him screw up Baldur's Gate. I say screw up. He's just tedious. He can't leave any stone unturned. Plus, this guy's got so many mods going. He's got every character in the game running with him. I swear, man. But anyway, you guys come check it out. 3:30 p.m. Central Time on Labor Day. And then, of course, at 6:30 p.m. Central Time, it's time for Papa Joe Gamer After Dark. Video games, cocktails, and fails. I'll have to get a new bottle of Jack before tomorrow night because we got a dead soldier here. Because we are coming up on the final push. The final chapter of Mass Effect 2 begins with Part 19 tomorrow night at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. So, you guys come check that out for sure. And then Wednesday at 3 p.m. Central Time, it's back over to Pop Culture Minefields channel. I don't know exactly what they're going to be doing that day, but it'll be a movie of some sort. I'll be drawing on the Privateer, and they'll be talking about a movie on the Drink and Draw at 3 p.m. Central Time over on Pop Culture Minefields channel. Then, of course, at 5:30 p.m. Central Time, it's time for State of the Atmosphere, my favorite show I do every week, where we talk about pop culture stuff. We give you the pop culture update. We check out the girlfriend of the show, Sydney Sweeney, and we talk about movies, video games, shows, all the stuff we dig. Me, Knock, Das Wolfen, sometimes Jed when he's not busy comes by, and sometimes we have a surprise guest. You guys come check it out this Wednesday, Hump Day, at 5:30 p.m. Central Time on my channel. And then at Friday, of course, it's time for Sketching the Privateer, the story of America's pirate patriot brought to life in the pages of a comic book, as I continue my work on that. Come see me work on it every Friday at 1 p.m. Central Time. And then, of course, on Pop Culture Minefields channel at 8 p.m. Central Time on Friday, you can see Das Wolfen continue his assault on Fallout Tale of Two Wastelands on Gaming Night with John. Martin Acosta Centena and Knock are there to troll him as he continues his melee loadout, assaulting New Vegas at this point. So you guys come check it out. From what he tells me, he's been messing it up pretty bad. But anyway, it should be fun. You guys come check it out on Pop Culture Minefields channel at 8 p.m. Central Time on Friday. And then it's right back around to Sunday, where it'll be time for the Week 1 tailgate. That's right. The season is back, boys and girls. We'll already have 2 games under our belt by the time you see me next Sunday at 10 a.m. Central Time. We'll have the results of the Cowboys-Philly game. Hopefully the Cowboys will win. And we'll have the results from Brazil of the Kansas City Chiefs and the Los Angeles Chargers. And we'll also give you our predictions for the upcoming games on that Sunday. So at 10 a.m. Central Time, come check it out. Hang out with the football fans that aren't telling you what to bet on. Okay? You guys come check it out. 10 a.m. Central Time on my channel. And then it brings us right back around to either The Brothers Hack the Matrix at 6 or another edition of Chillin' at the Club. So let's check the chat real quick before we get out of here and see what's going on. Killy Chow already said this. He said, go Cowboys, fuck the Eagles, fuck Philly. Das Wolfen says, yeah, I need to get out of the bye weeks and recruiting so we can play the games and I can win the college football championship over Knock. Yeah, okay, I'm going to go do it right now. As soon as I get off of here, I'll do it. Of course, Keely Chow is worried about Ass Effect. He wants to know if I'm going to get laid in Ass Effect. That's all he cares about. He feeds the ducks a lot on that show. Idaho Mike, hey, how you doing, man? It's good to see you. He says, go Seahawks. You know, bro, that's the team. You see my helmet over there? You know what's up. I actually pulled down my Steve Largent jersey and put it back here as a prop tonight. Earlier today during the football show. It's good to see you, Idaho Mike. Thanks for being here. So that's our show for tonight, guys. And until we see you again, I want you guys to keep on keeping on. God bless. Titty Tuesday continues everywhere. Bye!